I think that the summit has been very well attended. It's been a real good blend of service providers and end users. And I've been around in the industry for a long time, and I have just found that over the years it's better to interact with not only your peers but also service provider members. And I think that I think both sides gain from that. And I've always found that if you, as an end user, if you ever get to the point where you think you've learned everything there is to learn about the industry, it's probably time to move on and do something else. There's always a fresh perspective, always a different look, and I think that, if you go back 20 years in the corporate real estate profession, there really was a sort of us and them kind of view, and there was the end users, and then there was sort of the service provider side, and I don't think it was viewed with the team work that it's viewed with today. And in today's environment, I think you've seen corporate real estate groups collapse in size. They've been forced to outsource more, and as a result, you have to draw on your service providers more as partners. And so I think it's definitely become more of a partnership than it was in the past. I don't think there's anywhere that there's been a more dramatic change over the past 10 years than there has been in workplace design and strategies. And I think that the move to collaborative space has been driven by a lot of factors. I mean, I certainly think one of the factors has been that, whether it's through the C-suite office or the CFO, there's definitely a desire to drive down the cost of the real estate portfolio. And one way to do that, obviously, is to shrink the size of your footprint. And I think shrinking the size of your footprint is good not only from a cost side, it's got very good CRS or corporate responsibility and sustainability aspects because it reduces your carbon footprint. So it's sort of been very symbiotic from a number of different ways. And I think that as you do that, you have to find a way to put more back into the space for the employees because you are taking things away from them. There's been a real move away from private offices, moving into open work plans, and not only open workspaces, but lowering the panel heights so that you can get more open flow and more collaborative and communication and teamwork. And I think it's been a tremendously positive change. We're able to design spaces now, whether they're out in the open, whether it's in closed conference rooms, we're able to provide a much better level of technology now, and that allows workers to come together in a better environment they did before. It's plug and play with your laptop. You can share ideas with people more freely and openly, and I think those are really positive trends. And I think that the mobility of the workplace continues to be the trend that's driving it. And as people become more mobile, they become less dependent on the fixed spaces in their office, whether it be an office or a workstation, and they become more dependent on the common areas because it is more about meeting with your peers now and interacting. And we're finding, I know at our workplace, that the productivity goes up tremendously, and just the whole collaborative teaming sort of aspect of it cross-pollinates, and you get teams working together that you wouldn't think would get synergies, that when you put them into that environment, they start to interact in a different way, and it just becomes a better overall for all members of the group, whether it's the management group right on down. And I think you're seeing management have a more willing or take a more willing role in participating in it, and they've taken reduced space as well, and they've sort of supported it with a little more backing to it. And I think when you get that senior management level of support, it really helps permeate it through the organization. And I just don't think there's any going back on this.